What if real-life dragons, Komodo dragons, suddenly appeared in Florida? Imagine thousands of these ancient predators unleashed in the Sunshine State, turning paradise into a battleground. Komodo dragons aren't just big lizards, they're apex predators with venom, power, and cunning. Florida's wildlife, already struggling, would face a terrifying new threat, and for the 22 million people living here, daily life would change overnight. Walks in the park, letting pets outside, suddenly, everything's dangerous. Authorities and citizens would scramble to respond to a prehistoric nightmare. This isn't just about animals, it's about how we cope when nature's balance is shattered. So let's dive in. What happens when dragons invade Florida? Get ready for a wild ride. To truly grasp the chaos that could unfold, you first need to meet the Komodo dragon, the world's largest and most formidable lizard, often called a living dinosaur, stretching up to 10 feet long and weighing as much as 150 pounds. This reptile is armored in tough, bony scales and built for stealthy ambush. Its muscular body and powerful limbs make it a master of its environment. Native to the remote islands of Indonesia, Komodo dragons thrive in harsh, sun-baked landscapes where few other predators survive. They are opportunistic eaters, devouring anything from deer and wild boar to massive water buffalo, and even carrion. Their hunting style is nothing short of brutal, a venomous bite, razor-sharp serrated teeth, and a highly developed sense of smell that can track wounded prey for miles across rugged terrain. Even a single bite can doom an animal, as the dragon's venom and bacteria-laden saliva cause shock, blood loss, and infection, ensuring the prey rarely escapes. These dragons are true apex predators, confident, highly intelligent, and utterly fearless, ruling their domain with unmatched ferocity. On rare occasions, they've even attacked humans, a reminder of their unpredictable and dangerous nature. Now, imagine this perfect hunter set loose in Florida's lush, prey-rich wilderness, where food is abundant and the climate is ideal for their survival. The stage is set for a dramatic invasion, one that could reshape the ecosystem and threaten native wildlife. This isn't just a big lizard, it's a living relic engineered by evolution for survival, a true throwback to the age of dinosaurs. If Komodo dragons ever called Florida home, the state would never be the same again. Florida is a subtropical paradise, swamps, forests, and wetlands teeming with life. Alligators rule the waterways while deer, birds, and small mammals fill the land. But this ecosystem is fragile, already under siege from invasive species like Burmese pythons. Pythons have wiped out most small mammals in some areas, proving how vulnerable Florida is. Now, imagine adding Komodo dragons to the mix. Native animals have no defenses against a predator like this. A deer might fear an alligator, but not a giant lizard lurking in the brush. Florida's warm, wet climate is perfect for dragons, an accidental paradise for a deadly invader. The balance would tip, and the consequences would be catastrophic. It's a banquet waiting for a new apex predator. The moment Komodo dragons hit Florida's wilds, chaos erupts. These massive reptiles, known for their power and cunning, would instantly disrupt the delicate balance of the Everglades ecosystem. They'd thrive in the Everglades, preying on deer, hogs, and birds, devastating already stressed populations. With few natural predators, Komodo dragons would quickly rise to the top of the food chain, hunting with ruthless efficiency and putting immense pressure on native species struggling to survive. The ultimate showdown? Komodo dragon versus American alligator. These two apex predators would clash in epic battles for dominance, each testing the limits of their strength and strategy. In water, the gator wins. On land, the dragon's speed and venom give it the edge. The outcome would depend on the battleground, with each animal exploiting its unique advantages. Dragons would raid alligator nests, eating eggs and hatchlings, crippling future generations. This relentless predation would threaten the very survival of alligators, tipping the scales of the ecosystem even further. But the threat wouldn't stop in the wild. As food becomes scarce, dragons would push into human territory searching for new sources of sustenance. Dragons would invade suburbs drawn by pets, livestock, and garbage. No backyard or farm would be safe from their relentless hunger and curiosity. Imagine a 200-pound lizard on your patio. Suddenly, nowhere is safe. The line between wilderness and civilization would blur, leaving residents constantly on edge. Public health would suffer, Komodo bites cause severe infections, and hospitals would face new dangers. Medical teams would need to adapt quickly to treat injuries and prevent the spread of dangerous bacteria. Wildlife officials would be overwhelmed, traditional control methods would fail. The sheer size and intelligence of Komodo dragons would render most traps useless, leaving authorities scrambling for solutions. Florida would become a war zone, humans versus dragons, fighting for survival. Communities would be forced to adapt, defend, or flee as the dragons spread. The landscape and life itself would be forever changed. The arrival of Komodo dragons would leave a permanent mark on Florida, altering its environment, wildlife, and the way people live. How would Florida respond if dragons suddenly roamed its wild spaces? The state would launch massive public safety campaigns, with urgent warnings on billboards and emergency broadcasts. Stricter pet laws would be enacted almost overnight, and new regulations would try to keep people and pets safe from these dangerous invaders. Armed eradication teams equipped with the latest technology would be just the start. Specialized wildlife control units would patrol swamps and forests, searching for any sign of the dragons. Meanwhile, conservationists might have to rescue endangered species at risk of extinction, racing against time to save native wildlife from the new apex predators. They'd build modern-day arks, temporary shelters, and rescue centers to protect what's left. The cost, financial, ecological, and emotional, would be staggering, straining resources and communities. If eradication fails, Florida could become a land of dragons where these ancient reptiles roam freely, changing the landscape forever. Entire regions might be declared dragon zones, off-limits to people, with strict barriers and constant monitoring. Tourism would shift from sunny beaches to thrilling dragon safaris, drawing adventurers eager to glimpse these living legends, if they dare. But for locals, daily life would be ruled by fear and uncertainty, as every trip outdoors could bring danger. The Komodo invasion would force us to rethink how we handle exotic species and protect fragile ecosystems. It's a stark warning: nature's balance is delicate, and one mistake can unleash chaos, with consequences that ripple for generations. The story of dragons in Florida would be a tragedy, a permanent scar on the land and its people, and a lesson in humility, reminding us of our responsibility to protect the natural world. Some wonders belong in their world, not ours. The Komodo dragon is a marvel of evolution, but it thrives only in its native home. Let's keep the dragons where they belong, wild, free, and far from the places we call home.